Am I the asshole for going home without my boyfriend because he wouldn't stop having conversations? My boyfriend and I were invited to one of our friends' birthday party yesterday. I had work early today, so we agreed on leaving early. Also, my boyfriend broke his foot, so I was in charge of driving. Around 11 p.m. I start to feel tired, so I told my boyfriend we were gonna go soon. He said yes. Let me just finish my conversation. I said okay. After 5 minutes of waiting, I tell him again that I was tired, so we needed to leave. He told me to wait 5 more minutes. But those 5 minutes quickly turned into 10, those 10 into 20, and 20 into 30 minutes. At this point, I was getting angry because he already promised me we'd leave early, but it was now close to midnight and he was still talking. I go to him again and tell him that if he's having fun and wants to stay, then I can ask his sister to drive him home as it's on her way. He said no and that he was coming. I told him that I was really tired and would leave without him if he wasn't there in 5 minutes. He said he'd be there. It's without surprise that after 5 minutes, he was still not here but was having another conversation with someone else. I go to him one last time and tell him I'm leaving. I guess he didn't heard because he didn't react. Before leaving, I go to his sister and ask if she can drive him home. She said she would, so I thanked her and I left. My boyfriend called me 10 minutes after to ask where I was. I told him I left because I was tired and he wouldn't leave. He called me an hour and hung up. He texted me right after and told me that I was an hour for leaving without him. That he was just talking with his friends and that it wouldn't have killed me to wait a little more. He blocked me right after that and slept at his sister's house. I texted her and she told me he just need time to cool down and that me leaving without him had really hurt him. No news since, from him or his sister. Was I the R to leave without him? Perhaps it's true that I could have waited till he finished talking. Not the asshole. The real giveaway is that it wouldn't have killed you to wait a little more. He had no intention of leaving early and was just lying to you to keep you quiet. 1. You set a boundary. He ignored it several times. 2. You made sure he had a lift home. 3. It's not safe to drive when you're overly tired. You did the right thing. 4. He blocked you, which is being petulant and immature. 5. You're better off without him if this is how he treats you. 6. Why would you continue to wait when he constantly kept breaking his word? 7. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You were very clear and reasonable with your boyfriend about your need to leave early. He was being disrespectful and selfish by ignoring you and continuing to talk with his friends. He also broke his promise to you and lied about coming soon. You did nothing wrong by leaving without him, especially since you arranged for his sister to drive him home. He owes you an apology. Not the asshole. Let him leave you blocked and move on. You really don't want to continue a relationship with someone like this. Red flags are everywhere. He blocked you. Get the F out right now, girl. That is a serious red flag. Not the asshole. His sister can keep him. It won't kill him to send one of his conversationalist friends to pick his stuff up where you leave it in trash bags outside your place where you have freshly changed locks. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You told him. And you kept your word. If he didn't want you to leave without him, he should have kept his Not the asshole your boyfriend is selfish, prioritized his friends over you. He could have easily got a lift with his sister and let you go when you wanted. But you ended up staying an extra hour for him. But somehow you're the one who's the ag. And then blocking you. Is he 12? His brain is fully developed, don't stay with him. He's done you a favor, and I bet it's not the only time he has thrown his toys out of the pram. Not the asshole. You had to ask his sister if she can drive him home. He is 27. Not 7. You should leave him. This time for good. Not the asshole. I would have left after the first 5 minutes turned into 10. No one messes with my sleep. Not the asshole and your boyfriend is acting like a child. Not the asshole. You told him basically a full hour before he started talking to someone else. I assume you were paying enough attention to who he was chatting with to know if it was someone else. Which you said it was. Yeah, not the asshole. He needs to learn to listen to you when you have to work early and you're the DD designated driver. With a schedule. Very childish of him to block you. Childish of him not to care what you were saying. And then throw a tantrum like this. Good luck, op. Not the asshole. If he is really hurt by this to the point of blocking you. He must really emotional. Lol. Like, is it that big of a deal? If my sister said I'm taking you home. So left. I would have been like, oh okay. Cool. And that would be it. Fuck. It's happened to me before in a similar situation. You told him numerous times and arranged a ride for him. What's the problem? Not the asshole at all. He didn't want to leave and didn't care that you were tired and ready to go. Excuse me. But in what world are you tar? Even if you weren't driving. It would still be rude to hold someone up like that at a party. Especially when you have work in the morning. Not the asshole let him wallow in his own self-pity. Not the asshole. You gave him a warning prior to going. You let him know when you wanted to go. You reminded him you wanted to go. You gave him a final countdown to when you were leaving. At this point I think most people would have left without him. Making people wait for you like that is a power trip. It basically is saying that your needs are less important. I'm sorry that happened and I'm sorry he handled it so poorly. It could have killed you. My brother fell asleep while driving once and damn near killed 3 people. Himself included. Move on, this guy has zero respect for you, not the asshole. Not the asshole. You mentioned to him that you were tired and wanted to leave and he continued talking. When you were talking to his sister and she said he just needed time to cool off, I would have told her to tell him take all the time he needs after calling me an R. Hanging up and blocking me. I wouldn't let him or anyone talk to you like that. You were clear with your intentions to leave. Because you had to work and for him to respond like going to happen. Not the asshole. He was totally selfish and treated you with a complete lack of respect while you did absolutely nothing wrong. Not the asshole. If I was in your shoes after 10 minutes I would told them you can stay but I'm leaving and no I'm not gonna be waiting. And let them figure a ride home if they weren't drunk. You actually did more than you were supposed and you're so to sulk about it and call you an asshole. My petty ass won't reach out until he apologizes for their behavior. Not the asshole. Driver calls the shots on when you leave. That's a rule older than cars. Trying to drag that out for more than half an hour. Then act hurt when you do what you told him you'd do. Is petty and manipulative. So why did you make this post without adding X before the boyfriend part? Not the asshole.